On April 23, 2006, a man was standing on the street in Kyiv, Ukraine, looking at the buildings. This man was wearing a dress that belonged to a very old time, which no one wears now. He also had a very old camera in his hand. The people there were surprised as to who this man was. This man asked a police officer standing there for an address that was not present in Ukraine. This police officer asked this man for his ID. And from here, this story became so strange that it is difficult to believe it. This is the story of a man named Sergei Ponomarenko. When this man showed his ID to the police were surprised. The address of the Soviet Union was written on this man's ID. The Soviet Union was once a country. According to this area, it was the largest country in the world. But then the Soviet Union broke down and 15 other countries emerged from it, such as Russia, Ukraine, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Georgia, etc. The Soviet Union ended in 1991. So why was this man roaming around with the Soviet Union's ID in 2006? The strangest thing was that his date of birth on his ID was 1932. That is, this man should have been 74 years old now. But this man looked very young. The police asked him, "What is the date today?" So this man replied, April 23rd, 1958. The police were shocked to hear his answer. This was not the year 1958, but the year 2006. The police had to ask this man a lot of questions, and he took him to the police station with him. This man named Sergei was constantly talking to the police about the Soviet Union. The police thought that this man had some mental issues, and they called a psychologist so that he could talk to Sergei. Sergei was also talking here that he was born in the Soviet Union in 1932. He is 26 years old. This is the year 1958. He also said that he is very fond of photography. He also showed his camera to the psychologist. When he was asked how he got here, Sergei said that it was daytime. I was walking when I saw a strange thing flying in the air. Immediately took a picture of it with his camera. According to him, as soon as he took this picture, he did not know what happened. Suddenly, he was standing in Kyiv, Ukraine. The psychologist was surprised to hear his story, that this man is saying. This camera was called Yashica Flex. The film in this camera stopped being made after 1970. The police also called a professional photographer, Vadim Posner. The film was taken from Sergei's camera and its pictures were taken. The police also got a picture of what Sergei had told about. There were pictures of the Soviet Union in these pictures. And there were also pictures of a woman. But this story becomes even more strange from here. According to the story, the place where Sergei was kept, this man suddenly disappeared from there. It was said that no one knew anything. He also checked the CCTV cameras there. But Sergei had completely disappeared. The police did not give up here. They started looking for the woman seen in Sergei's pictures. First of all, they started looking for this man named Sergei Ponomarenko in the Ukrainian database. After many weeks of hard work, the police finally found a proof. The police found out that in 1958, a man in Ukraine, Sergei Ponomarenko, was suddenly missing. This was the same man. From here, the police also found Sergei's fiancée, who was now more than 70 years old. This was the same woman whose pictures were present in Sergei's camera. This woman's name was Valentina. The police now reached Valentina. Valentina also had pictures of Sergei in an album. But this woman told the police such a story that the police were even more surprised. She said that Sergei had disappeared for 2 years in 1958. When he came back, he was very worried. She didn't tell anyone where he had gone. The strangest thing was that this woman showed the police a picture. Sergei had given this picture to her. This woman said that this picture is from 2050. Sergei had told her that he had traveled in time and reached in 2050. This picture was of Ukraine. There were tall buildings behind Sergei. However, at that time, these buildings were not present in Ukraine. This woman said that Sergei had disappeared somewhere again in the 1970s, and he never came back. Now friends, this whole incident is very interesting. Did this man travel in time? Is time travel really possible? Now, this incident has become very famous, but I think it's all a lie. This is just a hoax. But if this had really happened, then the whole world science would have been looking for this incident. How did this happen? The police don't have a single picture of Sergei, except for his ID and the pictures that are said to have been found from his camera. This is a 2006 incident, so at least the police should have a picture of a security camera. They don't have it either. If you look closely at the picture of 2050, then only one building has been edited and shown in 3 places. So in the end, I think this famous incident is nothing but a lie. Sergei Ponomarenko is just a hoax. This story has become very famous.